Hi there, it's Lisa Barry here from Lisa Barry Online. I'm just going to give you a really quick overview of life in the MLC, Mission-Led Content for Social Media course. I'm going to show you the workbook that we work from. I'm going to show you the templates, and I'm going to show you the Facebook group. Now, the workbook, something to say, I'm just going to scroll down the content. This is the complete guide. So it's got the groundwork in it, which is your mission, your ideal client, deciding on your services. Then when it's got the social media side of it, it's the content plan, getting your social media platforms so that they become lead generators in themselves. And then there's loads of like what types of content you be posting, how much, and what types, like templates alongside that, so you can use these templates, putting them into practice. Loads of, you can see here, there's a lot. It's 148 pages, but there's lots of this sort of space where you can actually, it's a workbook. So some people really like having that thing where you can print out. You can actually, it's editable, so you can do it online as well. But people like having that to go through. It's not a necessity because the content is also in the Facebook group. And I am in the process of getting it on my website as well. Like as in an online course that you can work your way through. So there's different ways of accessing it. As an old educator, a previous educator, a teacher in my previous life, and a coach for young people, a huge passion of mine is that I believe that we are all natural learners and we all have this natural curiosity. And what we really need to do is tap into that, the joy of learning, and that what works for you works for different people in different ways. So there's no right or wrong way of doing it, and it's one of the reasons I make my my course so flexible. I talk about there being no behind. There's no behind in life. There's no behind in any of these processes. Like, you are where you should be right now, and my job is to help you to take next steps. Yes, I help people with their actual words and their content and their messaging. I help people to dial down and get really clear about what they want. But what I also do, and this is really super important, is I don't tell people like you need to do A, B, and C to get here, because a huge thing that I teach is compassion and knowing what's right for you. Because here's the thing, it's strategic to do it this way. You have to keep doing it. If you've not got a massive marketing team behind you, if you're the one doing your marketing, you have to be the one that's showing up, and you have to be, and what will get the leads is the consistency. So you have to find a way to do it in a way that works for you, and not because somebody says this is the best way of doing something. It might be for them, and there's nothing wrong with that strategy, but it's about recognizing and being mindful, conscious, curious, and mindful about yourself and about the way that you learn and about the way that you want to show up, so you can keep doing it. So these are my big messages that I share. So I support people in a very practical way. I do help teach content and copy, but it really is as much about helping you to tune in with your intuition and what your next steps are within your messaging and your business. So this is the workbook. You can actually buy this workbook as a standalone product that you can work through yourself for $199, and when you buy it, you get an email that gives you a coupon code. So whenever I open the doors to the MLC again, you can actually access the MLC using that coupon code and get $199 off the MLC cost. So that's another option. I don't know, people are asking me when I'm opening again. I'm definitely going to do another opening in September, and I'm going to do my last ever challenge in September, but I may do a smaller, without the fanfare, without a big challenge, just a simple open doors in June, but I haven't decided that yet. So in all honesty, that's something I can't actually answer at the moment, but I'm going to be deciding that next week anyway, when I've had a bit of time to decompress from being in launch mode. So that's the workbook. So I'll just scroll up to the top because that's a nice page to finish on. So that's the workbook. Like I say, you can buy separately and get a code. This is the template board. So I have a Trello template board where people can access call to action posts, social proof posts, story posts. There's loads of different examples of different content that you can put out there. I do provide templates, but what I really teach people to do is learn how to use those templates. and communicate their mission. So it's not like carbon copy, it's about how to put your words into that space. And these are the templates that have helped my business to grow from, you know, earning less than £2 an hour for my first freelance gig, writing gig, up to pushing way past that 6-figure mark last year. So that is all through social media and MLC. Then we have, oh look, there's my family sending pictures of my dog. Then we have the Facebook group. Now the content within the Facebook group that's in the guide section is basically what's in the workbook. So it's what's in the workbook broken down, and there's videos and the text alongside is the text that's in the workbook. And then of course you've got all the you know, like the fill it in yourself forms and things that you saw in the workbook. And the idea of this is, again, that I'm meeting people where they are. So if you like to watch a video, you can watch a video. If you like to you know, go through a workbook and print it out, you can do that. There's no right or wrong about this. It's meeting people where they are. All the content is front loaded. So you know, technically the groundwork we cover for 2 weeks, the content plan and your social media platforms we cover for 2 weeks, and then we have 3 weeks of working on how to improve our content. Like once we've got those foundations in place of like what we want to say, where we want to say it, how we're going to say it, making sure our social media platforms are those lead generator machines, then we can actually like, right, let's get our content shit hot. And so that's that last stage. But I don't tell people like, oh, you have to do this at this time, or you have to do this at this time. There is a great deal of flexibility with it. We go through that step-by-step process, but as I said, nobody is behind. It is about supporting and nurturing people and allowing them to know they're not, like, any question they can ask at any time. Now, certain elements, I'm just going to go back and stop sharing and show me certain elements, additional stuff. So within the MLC, you get tutorials. So every Tuesday there's a tutorial which is based on like going through that step-by-step process. So it could be the groundwork, it could be getting your social media profiles, it could be content plans, or it could be writing the content itself. So there's a Tuesday tutorial, so you're always getting new content, and that's always added. You can catch up on it, you can see the previous tutorials, and the future ones will always be there for you. There's coaching, so every Wednesday there's Zoom calls. You don't have to book on. It's not an obligation, but you have the opportunity to check in with it when you need to. So that's an option as well. So you can just say, I'm really struggling with this, I need some accountability, I need some support. That's there for you as well every Wednesday. And then every Thursday we have not every Thursday, sorry, every day, Monday to Friday, you can get feedback on your content. So we have myself, and I've got a copywriting, copy editing team standing by Monday to Friday to give you feedback on your content. Like, have a copywriter in your pocket. Like, that's super exciting and worth so much value in itself. So that's the MLC. You get 12 months access to the group with the coaching tutorials and feedback. But once you've been through the program, you can always come back at any point. The door stays open for you to come back at a very small monthly fee if you want to tap back into the coaching tutorials and feedback. But you get lifetime access to the material, to the workbook, so that's yours forever. So we close at midnight tonight. Doors close at midnight tonight on Friday, the 26th of March. I'm not, as I say, I'm not 100% sure when I'll be reopening, but we do. At the moment, that's where I stand. We close at midnight tonight. It's £1,500 up front, or £130 a month for 12 months. And yeah, I think that's covered it all. Things that people worry about is time, but it's making sure that you know that there is no behind. You're not alone. You are supported to just take. My big passion, my big mission is allowing people to take those next steps and not be like, not listening to all the other shit that's around. If you want to do business with honesty, integrity and transparency, and you want to follow your heart and follow your gut instincts and know that you know what's best for you, then I'm there to support you, give you the practical help to dial down that message and get your content better, get your content communicating what you want to say, but at the same time supporting you to take those right steps for you. There is no behind, there is no wrong. You're just in a safe space. If you want to speak to me today, let me know. I've got calls open later, and I'll pop the link in the comments.